Emotions rule. Experiments. Self-driving cars. Ethics. Emotions. Disability acceptance. Emotions rule. Machines are said not to be able to make decisions based on ethics. Neither can humans in a hurry or emotional moment. Ever hear about the Samaritans rushing to the lecture hall? Experimenters placed a poorly dressed man in obvious discomfort on their path. How many ethics or morals are misplaced? How many Good Samaritans rush by? How many other religious or otherwise folk dispel their teaching in times of need, apparent or not? None of these good people stop to offer help. That is not to say they are not good people. Most people with an agenda on their mind will defer what they live by to attain that agenda. Back to technology. The self-driving car will, I only think, swerve into oncoming traffic rather than hit a child. This can be said to be ethical, but I suspect the car would do this as opposed to hit any obstacle. Ethics and morals play, or rather underplay, a huge part in the lives of those socially hardened people with disabilities, religious or not. Men and women are sometimes inclined to turn the other cheek. Just figure the percentage of the average citizen that defy expectation. New rules are made to alter disability is introduced to much of society. I'll start that again. New rules are made after disability is introduced to much of society. Programmer or political bias can influence liberty in man and machine. But would you rather be in the reactive car driven by a machine or a drunk teenager? The emotions of the persons with a disability are somewhat nulled, somewhat heightened. We know from personal existence to ignore a lot of what goes on every day, even when accompanying onlookers say you did not see that, did you? Probably best. or we can rise to extreme anger at the smallest injunction because they are so ridiculous and tedious that we've just had enough. Even this, those of us will toughen up to, but tempers can flare at seeming insignificances. Those with a mind intact and senses to enable will tolerate and show temperance and wit in their response or lack of. But as most of disabled people are assumed that there are those not able to do this, maybe. I suspect in their own way, socially acceptable and warranted or not, cope and deal with these situations in their own ways. We think in groups. Social aptitudes are developed in groups. No one person is responsible for the alienation of disability. This has emerged through centuries, and only in the latter has disability acceptance gained ground. Policies and movements are made in groups. There is a large group of people opposing the inbuilt regimes that people with impairments face, but just as this has taken years to evolve, this has taken generations to start change in other minds. There is still the conflict of right and wrong in self-judgment. What I propose by this is that some people are inclined to do the right thing, some the wrong thing, not because they are choosing individuality, but because they are caught up in groupthink. There are many pioneers who have this individuality choice presupposed, and this is becoming prominent by my promising outlook infers. I learn bits, I sense a lot, but I have not studied many academic areas, so take my writing how you will, as a personal memoir to learn by, I'm hoping. My writing style has evolved much, so do not be surprised if you witness something you disagree with or is not entirely correct. My purpose is apparent: to decline drug driving and to enhance disability equality and inclusion. I want to cause debate amongst all people, and education is a priority.